she's obviously getting used to it, isn't she?
Loves it.
Yeah.
Loves it. Right, we're going to start episode 8.
Yeah, of the It's Your Revival podcast.
Yeah, a bit differently, just because.
Go over there.
So for those of you who follow us on the old gram and everywhere else, we do cheat day food reviews, don't we, Sal?
We do.
The purpose of those reviews is if you want to break your diet and you don't know what to have, is it worth it? Do you know what I mean? We try the foods to let you know if it's worth breaking your diet for.
Yeah, don't break it for something crap.
Nah.
Break it for something good.
Yeah. So we review that shit, but today we're going to do a kind of live cheat day food review because Subway has brought out a lot of footlong shaped things to eat. No
Have
longer.
they always done footlong shaped things?
Well, no
these are
longer
just new ones.
Yeah, no longer is it just the footlong sub. There's a whole array of footlong things that Subway are offering that I've just brought that we could do. So whilst they're hot and whilst it's warm, I think we go into that first.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
I'm totally here
the
for
dog
it. The
definitely
dog
wants
is
it.
she says yes.
Right, so those of you who don't know, Subway has brought out the Footlong Churro.
No way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The
See, we've had a churro
the
recently,
Footlong
so that's
Cookie,
interesting.
the size of it, and a savoury footlong kind of like stick thing. It's all stuck to the back.
Come here.
Yes, she's in.
You got any idea how many calories are in these items?
No idea, mate. But they're cheat days. Who cares when it's a cheat day? Do you know what I mean? And then this like cheese. Well, there's 3 flavours. I went for 3 cheese.
Okay.
It's like a little like wrap thing. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to review it. So I reckon, obviously, we go savoury first.
Yes, always.
Do you reckon? And it's a foot long size, guys, so we can all smash it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't devouring this on my own.
Because we'll only be having one mouthful.
Yeah. And I've just got it with a bit of chipotle sauce. So first things first, the
Chipotle?
Chipotle mayo.
Is that how you say it?
How do you say it? You go chipotle. That is definitely not the way to say it. It is chipotle. Right, we're going to go in straight in.
Your mouthfuls are always absolutely massive.
I mean, it's just a cheese wrap.
Yeah, that is basically.
It's supposed to be 3 cheese. I think it needs a dip.
I'm sure the dip will make it better, but then you are just basically having the
Eating
dip.
dip. Oh shit, turn it up.
A bit like what you say about pizza, because you only have cheese and tomato pizza, don't you?
Yeah. That's all right, man.
I know. What's this?
I know, I got bleach on me. Awful. I know. Look alright stuff. That's pointless.
Yeah, totally agree.
What's the point in that? Mate, I don't know.
Who in the product team at Subway has said, this is a great new product?
I think they've done the Footlong Cookie and the Churro and they've gone, oh, we should have 3. Come on, get ideas, guys.
Rule of 3.
And someone's just gone, let's just wrap up some cheese. Fucking great idea. Someone got promoted for that shit. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, no, I'm going to, on our rating scale, it's a 4.8.
Really? That high?
Yeah, 4.8. It doesn't taste bad.
I'm going to give it I'm going to go 3.3.
3.3. Not worth it. That one's not worth it. Right, now this is the one I wanted to try. The old Footlong
Look at that.
Cookie. Just size it.
I'm going to have a little bit.
I'm going to have to put it back into it.
I mean, it's nice.
It is good.
I
Nice
don't want
looking.
any more.
Nice and soft. This is difficult to rate, this is, you know. Nice, isn't it? It's got to be in the 7, I think, so I would have that.
Would you eat all of that?
Yeah, mate. In like,
You wouldn't
in
share
like
it. I feel like
5
it's probably a
seconds.
sharer.
Yeah, but what you class as a sharer? Would you eat a whole pizza to yourself? Domino's? Yeah.
No.
I'd have 3, so that's the difference. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Nice. So you're saying in the 7s?
7.1, it just breaks it.
Yeah, I think I'd
I'd have it on my cheat day, so it's got to be a 7.
Yeah, I'd have it on a cheat day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to give it a 7.1 as well,
Right.
just to be
Matching
the
scores.
same. I know.
Matching
I
scores.
don't feel like it needs to be too high because it basically is just a cookie. But
It is, yeah.
It's a nice cookie.
If you like cookies,
Do you want some cookie? Hand that around then. Or put it somewhere for people to... It is nice. I'm
Isn't it?
excited about this one though
mean,
because
look.
we had that really nice one from...
look how stingy they've got. They've gave us a Footlong Churro and a dribble of caramel sauce.
That is a dribble, isn't it?
Absolutely god awful.
But we had a churro from Wingstop, didn't we? Which was really good.
I mean,
I'm just going to go for the same end.
it's a good churro, but not better than Wingstop churro. It's a bit chewy.
It's a bit dry.
6.1. Maybe a 5.9. but
I need to start scoring first because it just feels like I'm copying you all the time.
There you go for it.
I'm going to give it I'm going to give it 5.8.
5.8. Not worth a cheat day. So the only thing out of the 3 foot-long things, other than obviously your Subway, they had some new Subways as well, like chimichurri and steak, which I thought was pretty bangy. I'm gonna smash that. But yeah, the only thing worth it is the cookie, the Footlong Cookie.
Yeah,
I'll smash
100% agreed.
We might do a cookie review every so.
We might
We might
do.
go around the old fast food joints and do a full-blown who's got the best cookie.
Yeah, because I haven't eaten loads of like takeaway cookies. So the only one I've had is Domino's, which I do really like.
I am more of a savoury guy, that's why as well.
Yeah.
I'm not huge. I love dessert, but like, I'd much rather smash 3 burgers rather than having a burger and a dessert.
You know, if you go for like a 3-course meal, but it's one of those situations where you're either having starter or dessert, I'm guessing you'd go starter then.
I would, yeah. Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
No,
I generally would do that as well, but
there's only one dessert in the world, 2 desserts in the world that I would go to, which I'm going to go to, is they're both in Sarasota, Florida. One is Yoda's, which is like an Amish restaurant, the peanut butter cream pie. Oh my god. You know when you said you think about Wingstop all the time?
I didn't say I thought about it all the time, I just said I have thought about it since.
Yeah. Well, imagine that, but like tenfold. I think about Yoda's all the time. And then there's a donut company like 10 minutes down the road from me called 5-0 Donut. Ugh.
So we had, well, you're not even that bothered about them, but when we were in Pembrokeshire last week, there's a place where they do the fresh hot donuts, the sugared ones, you know, you get like a bag of 5.
Yeah.
I absolutely love those, that's one of my favourite things.
There we go. Yeah,
Really
so
nice.
those are the only desserts I go for. Like hunt for. I'm
Yeah.
purposely going to Sarasota, Florida, which is about an hour's drive from Clearwater, just to have those. That's the commitment. I know. So good. So yeah, there we go. That was a good start.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
I
We
like
had some good
it.
food there. Cookie all day. Go for it. There we go. Right. Let's get cracking.
What have you been up to? We haven't recorded a podcast for the last couple of weeks as I was away last week. So what have you been up to during that time?
So the last week, what have I done? It's been half term, hasn't it?
Yes.
I feel like I should know what I've done. I'll read it down, but I haven't.
I mean, I can't remember what I did yesterday if I've not written it down.
terrible,
So
you know, terrible at like thinking what I've done. Did the Sprite Park, took my little man there. We had a cool half term. It was my birthday.
yes.
I was 37 on Sunday. That was cool. I don't really celebrate my birthday, so I just kind of like chill out. My boy made me some cookies, which I thought was really nice. So as long as I can just chill out with my little one and my missus, I'm cool with that. And then me and my wife last Wednesday. Was it last Wednesday or was it yesterday? Was it today? It was Wednesday. It was yesterday. 20-year anniversary.
Wow.
20 years we've been
20
together.
years, like since your first date, is that? Or
First time we got together officially.
Yeah. Did you do like a first date?
Not really, no. We met, I used to work at, do you want me to tell you how we met? Shall I tell you how we met?
Go for it.
So I used to work at Staples, the office supply store.
Oh yes, we talked about that because we
Yeah.
know Ben worked at Partners
Yes.
competition.
So I used to work there and her mate worked with me. And then we used to play football with like the other businesses around like the area. So McDonald's was one of them. We used to go down to Nashville Turf in a school. So one of the days we did that and her mate brought her along.
Yeah.
And obviously she instantly just fell in love. Do you know what I mean? So, and then about a week and a bit later, we ended up getting together. That was it. But I'd just come out of a relationship and I was like, look, I beefer. No more relationships, that's it, I'm on it.
So you were 17 then at that point?
17, mate, yeah.
Just turned?
Just turned 17, yeah. 20 years on, that's it.
Wow.
I know. 3 days after I turned 17. Met the love of my life, mate. You'd never know, would you? You never know what's around the corner.
We don't.
And I genuinely I didn't want a girlfriend. I was like, no. And I thought, she's too fit to say no to. Damn. Do you know what I mean? So no, I had to say yes to that, and that was it. She asked me out. I was, played hard to get. Anyway. So don't ask her the story though. It'll be different to mine. She'll say I played. I asked her out more than that.
I'm sure. Well, I'm sure because you could. Yeah. I know it's quite an old-fashioned thing, but typically I think it does tend to be that like the guy asks the girl out.
Not in my case, guys. She chased me, so
Well, congratulations on 20 years.
Thanks, mate. And I'm clearly punching. Someone messaged me once saying, "Oh, you're punching," and my response was, "Yeah, I know. Why would I go out with anybody uglier than me? Like, why would I do that? Do you know what I mean? Of course I'm punching. I'm not going to downgrade." So, yeah, I am massively. I'm You're punching, Ben. That's it. You should be proud of that.
I am.
Mrs. better looking than you. That's it. Done any? That's the way it should be, guys. Punch. It's fine. Aim high. Do you know what I mean? There we go. That's it. So that was my week. Cool. Yeah, good week.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
You can ask me about mine?
No, not interested. Let's move on to the next section. How was your week, Sal?
Well, I've been on holiday. I've been on an amazing holiday all the way to sunny Wales.
Did you have the sun?
A bit, not loads of sun. It was cooler than most half terms. What are you laughing for? The sun did shine a bit.
Did sometimes.
Was it terrible?
It's alright, it's okay.
It's the thing with English holidays, isn't it, man? You can never guarantee it, can you?
No. But we've been in the same place, like we haven't stayed in exactly the same place, but the same area for the last 3 May half terms. And this year was definitely the coolest. But we did have a really nice week and some of our friends were there and that sort of thing. So we managed to meet up and we did a lovely barbecue on the beach and had a fire one night, which was really nice. And we also went to what is supposed to be one of the prettiest beaches in Europe while we were there, which we haven't done.
Here we go with
before.
these English beaches again.
Yeah, I know you'd
Just like the Bahamas.
I knew you'd we show what it was.
It wasn't.
I knew you were going to say no. Was it like the Bahamas?
No.
Well, on the way, so we drove there, and it was one of these. It's really quiet because you have to do like a half-mile walk from the car park, so you can't park right next to the beach. Okay.
Cool. Unlike the Bahamas, where you can do that. So,
I don't know. Would you consider doing that if you went? Would you be happy to park up and think, "Oh, I'm happy to do a half-mile trek to the beach"?
I did that. Yeah, I went to. Where did I go? It was somewhere like North Wales. That was pretty much everywhere you went. You had to park down on a National Trust car park.
Yeah,
and then
this is what it was. Yeah,
all
National
down.
Trust.
Yeah, man.
So we did that on the way down. Ben said, the air was blue in the van as we were driving there because the lanes were really narrow. So he was worried about his van, worried about his wheels. He said, "Don't care if this is the most beautiful beach in the world. We're never coming back here."
Yeah, respect it.
But we got there and it was incredible. It was really beautiful and you could have been anywhere.
Out of 10, Ben, how incredible was the beach?
The beach was probably, I'd say, an 8 out of 10.
Oh, that's decent. There you
The
go.
weather pulls it back down to about.
Oh, it was bad weather when you went
five.
as well.
It was alright.
No, it was nice. That was a nice day. It was lovely. Sat on that beach.
Weren't the Bahamas though.
I'd love to see what your. You should take it. You've been to the Bahamas before, haven't you?
I haven't been to the Bahamas now.
Mate, you'd knock your socks off then. That's the perfect place to go. You'd have a great time because they're not like the Bahamas. I feel like you'd look out here where the canal is and go, "That's like the Bahamas, that is."
I have been to Hawaii though. They're pretty
I
cool
need someone to go to
beaches.
Hawaii really bad, and I'm not that bothered. Is it good?
It was fine. It wasn't somewhere that I would rush back, think like, "Oh, that's." I'd really not like Vegas where I've said you just
bang
want to
it.
go back time and time again.
And it's far, isn't it, Hawaii?
It really far.
LA and then LA over.
From San Fran over, which when I did the flight over, it was like 5 hours from San Fran. I had absolutely no idea that it was going to be further than like going from here to Greece or something.
And it's still in America, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a state,
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's right, yeah.
That's what I mean, if it's too far. Like, I want to go to Japan, which I think would be really cool. But the only reason really is I want to go and see Disney over there.
You don't want to go and check if they've got a Wagamama's?
I'd 100% would do that now, I would, yeah. There's definitely not a Wagamama's there, right?
No,
way.
there can't be.
But then I go, if say take Disney at the equation, would I go? I don't know, it's a bit far.
It is far. I
Far
don't
to
know,
East.
to be honest, I don't know how long the flight is.
12 hours, I want to say. Does anybody know?
But that's only like
14. Boom. 14
Have you
hours.
been?
You just googled that.
No, I'm going in a couple of weeks.
Where are you staying?
See if there's a Wagamama's.
Well, my dad was works for a company in sky building.
Oh, okay. So you're like proper in Japan, like Tokyo way?
Tokyo, yeah.
Oh, mate, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'd want to do. Like, go do Disney, do all that shit, and then do Tokyo. Go to Disney. How long are you there for?
Only 4 days.
Oh, that's enough. Go to Disney, mate. Do it. It's meant to be the best one. And wait,
and find out if we've got Wagamama's for us.
It's meant to be the best Disney, apparently. So,
But it's only like flying to Vegas, isn't it? Like, well, 14
yeah, I
hours,
know.
a
But
bit
you know,
longer.
do you know, it's like your point. You know, Vegas is going to be fucking awesome. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I don't know how it would be, so I'm a bit like. But we will do it because fucking Disney's there. But I want to do them all. There's Disney, Hong Kong, and Shanghai.
Yeah.
Tokyo, Hong Kong, Shanghai. That's the three.
Yeah.
But then like you go, oh, do that because it's all Asia. They're like 5 hour flights between the two,
Yeah.
and you're like,
It's a long way, isn't it?
yeah, mega. So yeah, we'll do it one point. Do the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. Great
Well,
week.
back to Wales, just to finish off.
Straight back to the Bahamas in Wales.
Yeah, the only other thing that I did when I was there, trained down at One Formula Fitness,
Oh,
as
sure.
per last year, the little
Yeah.
gym there.
The best gym in the country, like the gyms in Bahamas,
Yeah.
I would say.
No, it's a really small gym, but there's just something shit about it that I really like.
It's that shit. It's got character.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I just like. Oh, I can't wait to get back down One Formula Fitness. But it's like a little. How would you describe it? They've got like you go in, they've got a cafe with like all homemade cakes and stuff, which is a bit weird. So you can go and train and then buy a really nice cake.
Nice.
And you can have a pint because they've got a bar. Got a little swimming pool.
Cool.
They've got like the treadmills overlooking the bar, so you could have a pint whilst you were on the treadmill.
You
if
can
you
watch
wanted.
someone drink whilst doing it. Yeah. Cool.
But like the point being, why I brought it up is I thought it'd be quite interesting to because you're obviously going away on holiday in a couple of weeks.
I am, yeah.
Don't think you've mentioned it before.
No.
I've just been on holiday, but it's quite an interesting time if you're working towards a specific gym goal.
Yes.
It's quite an interesting time as to how you then approach your holiday, thinking about training and nutrition. Like, what do you do differently?
Yeah. So you're asking me what I do, yeah?
Well, yeah, go.
So I'm going to Florida in a week and a half's time. Anytime I go away, summertime, winter I couldn't give a shit, but summertime, I'll nail my diet for as long as I can.
Leading
Properly
up to the
nail it.
holiday.
Yes. But then once I'm on holiday,
Yeah.
there are no rules, mate. No. Like, I should vlog what I eat when I go. I might do that. Just put it on our YouTube channel. Because it's insane. Like, I go crazy. This is not verbatim, but I reckon at a guess, I'm on 6,000 plus calories a day. Easy.
It's probably it's not that
Easy.
hard to do, is it?
Not in America. Like, I'll give you a typical. So my favourite breakfast over there in Clearwater is a place called Another Broken Egg Calf, and they do cinnamon roll French toast. So how you would make French toast, but with a cinnamon roll. I fucking swear to God, it's amazing. Have that with like beignets, which are like they're called biscuit beignets. What they do, so they're like a harder beignet, but it's like a powdered donut, but it's a bit more biscuity, with like a dip, and it's insane. That's got to be 1,800 calories already.
Yeah.
And I can smash that in about 10 minutes, less than that, you know, so there's that. So I don't really have any rules when I go away. I just go for it. I'm in Targets and Walmart's getting loads of snacks. On a night, we'll order Uber Eats or something and get that in. And I just go for it whilst I'm there. Because, look, what you got to think, right, is when you're away, 1-2 weeks, it's impossible to gain actual fat mass in that time. And you don't have to go crazy. It's just me. I like to let go and just do whatever because I spend most of my year trying to cut down and eat healthy. So, like, I just go whatever. You're not going to gain any fat. You will come back heavier most of the time. Sometimes I've come back lighter, especially if I could do like a Disney because you're just constantly everywhere.
Yeah.
Or New York, for example.
Where you're doing
just
a lot of
everywhere.
walking.
Yeah. Even Vegas. Like that was like we did 2 weeks in Vegas last year, but you are up and down that strip a lot, and you are moving a lot, and sweating your tits off most of the time. So it's constantly just coming out of you. So what you'll just, if you end up gaining weight, it's just water weight, and then the week after it'll just come back off. So I always say to people when they ask me like, what should I do? I just go crack on, man. Just enjoy yourself. You're on holiday.
Yeah, totally. And I ate what I wanted last week. I've come back now and I've got just over 6 weeks until we go away for a fortnight. But even so, I knew that I wasn't going to do that much damage in a week. But what I haven't done since I've got back is I haven't got on the scales.
Yeah, pointless.
Because I just thought, what's the point? Because
Like
I know it's not going to show.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're just weighing your water. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit pointless. So I don't have like any rules, and I don't think anybody should. I feel like when you're on holiday, you should be able to just relax. And when you're in America, there's just something weird about asking for a chicken salad. I don't know what it is. It's just with the array of items that you can have. There's no way I'm having a salad or like a fruit bowl or some shit like that. No way.
I feel like
no way.
In terms of like eating my meals and stuff, we ate out pretty much all the time, like breakfast and not always breakfast, but evening meals, lunch, that sort of thing. But although I ate what I wanted, I've got to say it didn't make me feel great. To be honest, like I feel much better this week coming back and just going back to eating what I normally eat.
Yeah. I do miss a salad when I'm there for 2 weeks. I do end up going, oh mate, I can't wait to have a Subway salad or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it does get a lot.
I just felt bloated.
Yeah.
I think a lot. So I definitely feel like healthier in myself and just more comfortable now that I'm back. But I do have to make a small admission. I don't know what was wrong. It must have been when I wasn't feeling very well, but I got back one night and we'd had tea out. It possibly because we'd eaten really early, at like 5:30 or something. Got back and I did eat like half a bar of fruit and nut.
Nice.
Like straight off. I didn't even offer anybody any.
Okay, go for it, mate.
Yeah, so that was nice.
Of all the times I've been to America, and it's probably heading on 20 times, I think it's only about 5 times where I've not thrown up. I've been sick about 15 times, just because I've overeaten.
Yeah.
And my body's not used to it. And I go, fuck. And I sit there and I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm dying.
Too much food.
Yeah, like I've killed it, So, not done that for a while, but that has happened. No, actually, tell a lie, I did that in Vegas. I did, last year. I ate too much food. And you're lying there in bed, and it's like nearly midnight, and you're like, oh, it's just sitting there. Yeah, that's it. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. So that's it. Yeah.
What about training when you're away? How do you? What's your thoughts on?
I train every day. Yeah. So I do train every day. I like, especially it's easy when I go over there because I'm 5 hours behind, and so I'm like up at like 4 a.m, which is like the equivalent of like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So I'm up really early, and I just think everybody else is asleep.
Yeah, so you might as well go and train.
Yeah, so I'll go and smash the gym. I'll go for a walk up the beach to like a little shop or something, like a little petrol station, grab a protein bar or something, and then by the time I'm back showered and whatever, they're all awake, and then we just crack on. Do you know what I mean? So, so that's So I keep training, definitely, and if you can, do it. I just think, why not? I enjoy that though. People always look at me funny, like, why are you going on holiday to train? I'm like, it's not a chore for me. Like, I enjoy that part of it. So, so I do train every day. I don't train legs when I'm away, so that off. No. And then I just kind of just eat what I want, sort of thing. Job done. There we
Cool.
go.
And if it's like, what about if people go on holiday and perhaps they've gone away for a couple of weeks and they don't train? Like when they get home, what changes could they expect as a result of not do? Like how much of their strength or potentially fitness might they have lost?
If they don't train.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that. I mean, it's like again. Let's say it's 2 weeks. Say you're going for the max. Like it's normally 2 weeks is the maximum period, right? Some people go longer, but if you don't train for 2 weeks, all that'll happen when you come back and train that following week, you'll feel it more. Do you know what I mean? Like you'll come out your session like, geez, I've missed that.
Yeah.
You won't necessarily lose loads of strength gains in 2 weeks. You may like drop a weight dumbbell size or something because you just you've got to get your joints back used to lifting heavy again, but it's not a lot. It's just what I just say to people: just don't think about it, just crack on. If you don't want to train when you're away, don't train, but just enjoy your holiday. That's what it's there for. It's a mental health thing, it's a mental break, and it just, some people just are regiment with it, but just crack on, man.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
Totally.
Holiday. you know, go for it, mate. You know. I used to be really strict when I used to like get shredded for holiday. I'd have like really good, like a good set of abs, and I'd get there and everybody else is fat, and I'm like, well, I could have just looked normal, and I'd still look the best here. So what's the point? So I do still cut myself down, but I don't really worry about it too much anymore. I just try and stay in decent shape, and then crack on, sort of thing. Job done.
Nice.
There we go, mate.
Good.
Done.
You've got some other notes, haven't you?
I
Before
have,
we go
yeah.
into the muscle mailing.
Yeah. Well, shall I? So on the back of that,
Yes.
so I've got a bit of a story. It's not. No one's asked the question, but so I know someone who has gone on a holiday recently, and for the last like 12 weeks, I think, has like been on a diet. So this kind of brings me into that really. And yeah, so I wanted to talk about it because so this guy's got an online coach, and like he's lost a lot of weight really quickly. It's something like 2.5 pounds a week he's lost. You know, so it's quite a bit. If you think a pound a week is like perfect weight loss, shall we say, minus 500 calories a day. He's losing about 2.5 pounds a week, and what's happened? He's lost a lot of weight. And he's done really well because he used to like his drink and things like that. And he's cut all that out, so that should be celebrated. But he's lost a lot of weight really quickly, and then he's left himself with this what he described as like a post-pregnancy looking belly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Didn't look bad.
Yeah.
But his online coach has like celebrated it and posted it all over his socials and things like that, which, you know, fine, whatever. But to me, I feel like it's a bit, from the coach's point of view, it's too much, man, because the guy's not 100% happy with it. And to me, I just think if one of my clients was doing that, because I said to him how many calories are he's like 1,300 calories. Now that's not what his coach has told him to do, to be fair. But 1,300 calories, his protein was like 60 grams a day. And he was like, oh, I'm looking too thin, I've lost a bit too much muscle. Yeah, because that's what's going to happen. And what his coach should be doing, instead of celebrating that, or post it if you want to, but be a bit more honest. Do you know what I mean? Hasn't really followed my advice too much, but has dropped his calories a lot. So that should be celebrated because he's changing his habits. It's great. But instead of celebrating that massive weight loss, and then at the same time, his coach posts videos talking about how people shouldn't be impatient with their weight loss, and I'm like, well, that's two different things. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I wanted to talk about really.
Yeah.
Just different PTs out there. They're just full of shit, basically. Do you know what I mean? They're just full of absolute shit. And I just think, just to gain more followers and more likes, you know, they pay for blue ticks on their accounts, which costs them like 20 quid a month just to pretend they're someone that they're not. Like, that's supposed to be verification. Like, nobody's copying your profile, mate, with your 8,000 followers. You're fine. Do you know what I mean? It makes no sense. And I just go, instead of doing that, like, give your clients proper advice. I'd be like, as soon as he said to me, oh, I've lost too much weight, straight away I was like, well, how many calories are you eating? I knew it was going to be low. He was like 1,300. Now this guy's was heavier than me. I'm like 1,300.
It's I mean, I said to you, like, I'm doing 1,700 at the moment, and that's absolutely fine for me, but I couldn't imagine eating 1,300.
Oh, it's crazy. And it was all in prep for holiday. And I'm like, he could have done normal weight loss and he would have looked absolutely fine on holiday, but
yeah. Had he just sort of left it maybe a bit too late to get started? Or?
I think so. It's typical though, when people go, oh, I'm on holiday and I want to lose weight really quickly. So I understand it, but like, I said, did your PT not mention the fact that you've lost too much weight? And he was like, no. And he was like, he got 3 clients out of it. And I was like, oh, they did. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
but where do you go from here then? Now, if you're on 1,300, like, what's next?
Well, that's what first thing I identified was you're definitely eating too less calories. It's obvious. And he was like, yeah, 1,300. He should have been eating like 2.2 or 2.4 or something. So it's a lot
yeah.
less. Hence why his weight loss is more than double what it should be. He's lost a lot of muscle mass because he's only eating 60. That was another question straight away. How much protein are you eating? And he was like 60 grams a day. And I was like, it's so little. Should be on like 180 at that size that he was on, you know, minimum. So I was like, those are things that I'd be identifying and saying, you're not listening to what I'm saying, try and throw those in. Or if you are just going to crack on and have loads of less calories, just at least try and keep your protein high. Do you know what I mean? Just to try and retain as much muscle mass as you can. But yeah, it's just dog shit PTs, man. They just give shit advice. They let people crack on. They get these results, and instead of going, I mean, yeah, weight loss is weight loss, but instead of looking at it and going, oh, it's a bit too much, like, is there something I can do to help you, to get you a better physique? It's just kind of celebrated. It's almost like a Slimming World thing again.
Yeah.
Jump on the scales, lose 20 stone in a day, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's just so unhealthy. And I said to him, I bet you're starving, miserable, no sex drive. And lo and behold, all those things is exactly what he's experiencing. And I'm like, your body's like, I've got no fucking calories here. There's nothing I can do here. I ain't going to go home and try and have sex because it's not going to happen, is it? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I just... Dog shit PTs, mate. I'm you know, it's full of them. Instagram's full of them. Don't trust the blue ticks.
Yeah, it just seems that a lot of people, that's a misconception, is that you've got to lose weight, you need to be eating that amount of calories. I know so many people that have said to me, oh, how are you eating? I couldn't, if I ate 1,700 calories a day, I'd be massive.
It's right, mate. It is
But
right.
you're like,
People have a massive misconception of what they should be eating and what they shouldn't, you know.
And often it's the case where maybe they're eating that much in the week, but at the weekend they're then potentially binge eating,
aren't they?
That
brings me on to another one, actually, of my experiences this week. I've basically got 3 things here, which I'm just going to go at it, because there's 3 things that just doesn't make any sense. That's one of them.
Okay. Number 2.
But yeah, so just to finish off on that one, just if you're doing weight loss, crack on if you want to lose a load of weight. And there's things like cardio. They go, oh, I need to do cardio to lose body fat. No, you don't. Like, that's not... 2 reasons why you should do cardio, like running, for example. 1, because you love running. That's a reason. If you love running, run. Do you know what I mean? Or 2, you want to get better at running. Those are the only 2 things. There's no other reason. Or you want to get aerobically, say, add a 3rd one, you want to get aerobically fitter. Great, you know, do that. Or do some other form of cardio. That doesn't elicit body fat. There's always, remember, there's a difference between fat burning and fat loss. They're 2 different things. Fat burning zone is just your body's preferred energy source when you're doing certain exercise. Fat loss is actual fat loss. Do you know what I mean? So they're 2 different things. So when people talk to you about doing cardio to burn fat, that's not fat loss. That's just using your fats as energy. It doesn't mean you're going to lose loads of fat. That's not the same thing. All right. So it's those kind of misconceptions that PTs keep plumbing down people's fucking necks, and it's just bullshit. So yeah, blue tick PTs, unless they're really famous, blue ticks can fuck off. Do you know what I mean? James Smith can totally have a blue tick. The guy's now famous. It's fine. If someone tries to replicate his profile, you know James with the blue tick is his profile. You can trust that one. No one else is going to get a blue tick under the name of James Smith and trying to disguise themselves as him. So that's what that's for. None of this paying 20 quid a month to get your little tick next to your name, you know. So yeah.
Bit of a money making scheme by Meta.
It's right, innit? Then that's what it is now. They've just used it to try and make money now. So people can pretend to be people. Yeah. Second one. So we had that. Remember when I gave you that energy drink?
Okay.
It was like a natural energy drink, wasn't it?
Yes.
What was it called? Do you remember that? I can't remember. I won't blast it out because it was just. It's not the company's fault. So we had this energy drink, and it tastes quite nice, doesn't it? To be fair, for like most natural energy drinks taste like ass. Let's be honest. They're not the best. It's like having sparkling water. It's shit. Do you know what I mean? So it tastes like that.
I hate sparkling
it's
water.
Awful. Like when they put it down in like office like groups and like different meetings.
When you poured it by accident, like, shit, I just want still.
Or you go and buy a still bottle of water and you open it and it makes this, you go, I could brought a fizzy one. Game over. So it tasted quite nice and I was like, that's alright, that is, to be fair. And then she rang me. She gave us this like free load of it. And then she rang me and she went, oh, how did you find them? And I was like, yeah, no, they're really good. To be fair, surprisingly tasted really nice. And she was like, how do you feel about stocking them? And I said, well, we've got a lot of Monster Energy. I said, and I just don't know how you would compare to the sales of Monster Energy, because we get through a shitload of Monster Energy drinks. They're just popular, you know. So, and she was like, yeah, but we're no sugar. And I was like, well, let's stop you there, because we use the 0 sugar Monster. So there's no sugar in them. They're all 0 sugar. She was like, yeah, but there's evidence out there that suggests that sugar's actually better for you than sweeteners. And I thought, oh, fuck off. I thought, not this shit.
Again?
No, it's not. Do you know what I mean? No, it's not. And I just said to her, I said, and then she went, if you do your homework. And I was like, oh my God. I said, well, I've been a nutritionist for over 10 years. And I thought, fuck, she emailed me after apologising. But I've been a nutritionist for over 10 years. There's my homework. And 0 calorie sweetened drinks aren't as bad for you. They're not. Sugary drinks aren't that bad for you in moderation. Obviously, the more sugar you have, you can damage your teeth, you can do all this, you know, and whatever. But sweeteners, the problem is what people do, like we said before, is they look at an ingredient like aspartame and they go, I can't have that, it's going to give you cancer, or it's going to make you depressed, or whatever the hell they come up with nowadays. And that's because on a test level, when that's blown up into a massive thing and they test it, they go, oh, potentially this could do that. That's why they say like red meat can fuck you up and stuff like that. Because in a grand scale, potentially certain ingredients can do that. But I think we looked at, like a Diet Coke, for example, you need like 40 cans of Diet Coke, I think we said. And I'm like, so they're just, why people keep using this as a reason to try? And it's a sales thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll use our products. And in the end, I turned around and I said, she wanted to come in and start offering it out on like a promo thing. And I said, because of your knowledge and what bullshit you would be spouting to my clients or my guests at the gym, I don't want you here. And I said, no. And she was like, oh, okay. And I thought, I'm not having you here giving bullshit advice to people, telling people. I just think like in a world where people can be really overweight, and obesity levels are fucking shit. If anybody changes their sugary drinks to a non-sugary drink, that's a massive calorie saving. And they'll lose weight potentially. And all you're doing is scaremongering people to not do that. Whereas that can be a huge thing, you know. It's the same thing as people drinking alcohol and them not drinking. All you're doing is taking away the calorie intake. So you could lose weight. Well, that should be promoted more. Not, oh, don't do that, aspartame. God. You know, you're just scaring people into actually making a better life choice. So yeah, I was like, no, I'm not having that. So there's my number 2.
Okay.
Thing of the week.
Yeah.
One more.
Number 3.
So I was having a conversation with a lovely person, which is absolutely amazing. Again, no names. I don't want to dig people out, but it was just interesting just to see about certain people's knowledge on certain things.
Okay.
And it always goes back to like an old school way of thinking. Mm-hmm. And it was about a person who, so the person in question trains a lot, like Pilates, pole dancing, everything you can think of, she would do in essence. Size 14, I think it was, something like that she was. So she's not the thinnest person, you know. Not in no way like really overweight, 12 to 14, something like that. You know, fine. But I can't lose weight, I'm not losing weight. And then went through the kind of thing she eats in a day. And when I was adding it up, it was like 900 calories. And I was like, there's no way it's size 12 to 14. And quite a small person. So when you're smaller, you're a bit wider if you're that weight. Are you not losing weight on 900 calories? And the person I was talking to was like, well, I told her to eat more. Because obviously the less she's eating, the more body fat she's putting on. And I thought, it's not true. Like, you can't put body fat on in a deficit. And I've heard this loads of times before. It's really old school where they go, again, it's a Slimming World thing. Loads of them say, oh, you eat too less. You actually put body fat on. And I'm like, no, you don't. Like, how does anorexia work then?
Because I think people say, don't know, that their theory is that the less you eat, your body's sort of going into a worried state. It doesn't know where it's going to get the next
your body's worried.
bit of food from. So it's storing everything. Like,
I always say to somebody, if I threw you in a padded room, right, and just fed you 1 apple a day, right, and some water to keep you alive, you would lose so much weight and body fat. Now, don't get me wrong, you might lose more muscle than somebody else who's doing it properly, so then your body fat takes longer to come off in essence because you're losing everything. So the way you look, you might still have a little bit of a belly. A bit like the example I was giving before about that PT giving advice. Yeah. He's lost a lot of weight, but he's still got a little bit of a belly. So in his head, he's like, I haven't lost as much body fat, which he has. He just kept a bit here. If I put that person in a room and just fed them an apple, they would be so thin. And like I was saying, how does anorexia work? They are stick thin because they don't eat. They're not storing body fat. They're not eating. It's a condition, and they're thin. And it's like, you know, you go to some parts of the world where they're struggling to eat. They aren't storing body fat. Do you know what I mean? They are thin people, and I just think there's your evidence right there as to how that works. There's people that can't eat in the world still, which is sad as fuck, but they can't, and they're thin. There's people that have got illnesses like anorexia that don't eat because they perceive their body to look like something and it's not. And they're skinny. So that concept is bullshit.
So how is she eating 900 calories a day?
So what was happening after digging was she was binge eating on a weekend. And when I say binge eating, I'm talking Domino's Pizza, Chinese, breakfast at McDonald's. Like going full hog, going like my American lifestyle in like a day or two. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, that's why she's not putting on any weight, losing any weight. She might not be gaining any because her calorie deficit's so low throughout the week, but then she's just adding it on throughout the weekend. And like it's balancing it out. So she's just maybe seeing maintenance, but maintenance isn't going to cause any weight loss, you know. So she's doing all this stuff, but then binge eating. And then the advice given to her was to eat more. And I'm like, guess when that person would eat more if you give somebody who binge eats the advice to eat more? When they're binge eating. Do you know what I mean? They're just going to double what they're eating when they're binge eating, which is going to cause weight gain. So yeah, I just wanted to pick up on that because it was just bad advice, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by a lovely person, but just really bad advice. And I'm like, you will not put fat on if you are eating low calories. Eat 1 calorie a day, you won't survive. But do that, you won't store fat. You're not going to put fat on. It's just not going to happen. You will lose it very quickly. It's just how it works. It's thermodynamics. Google that. That's what it is. Job done.
Yeah, if only more people would take the legitimate advice. That's because I think
I don't know.
I don't know because
Do you know what I mean?
you can tell people things till you're blue in the face, but
It's denial most of the time. I always think they want like the easy way, don't they? It's always the easy way out, you know. Oh, I can't lose weight, but I can't stop eating Chinese and McDonald's on a Saturday. I love that.
yeah. Well, there's not like it doesn't have to be difficult, but it does take commitment. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Consistency, commitment.
It's a lifestyle thing, man. You've got to just change your habits a little bit, and that's why I say with like the diet drinks, like that's just a habit sometimes. Just change that, and you'll be alright. You know, you go from smoking to non-smoking. You know, if you just drop the amount of smoking down to a bit, and then you come off it, that's a good life change. I mean, you're doing better things for yourself, and it's same with calories. Just gradually drop them down. Deleting the things. If you love a fruit and nut, if you have that every day, right? My advice to you would be maybe have it every other day. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe not have half. Maybe just have a quarter of a bar.
Do you know what I mean?
This week.
So you can still have it. You just knock it down a little bit. You know, that's a massive change. You know, so it's one of those things. But yeah, it's old school advice, unfortunately, and the age-old thing will always. The science will always prevail. Trust the process. Calories in, calories out. You want to lose body fat? Be in a calorie deficit. End of.
All week.
A week.
Not just
No.
Monday to Thursday.
You need minus 3,500 calories for the week. Okay? Now you could have minus 500 for the week and you'd still lose weight, but just over a longer period of time. If you want to lose £1 a week, minus 3,500 a week, which is minus 500 a day, that will elicit £1 of body fat. Right. But don't go on the scales and go, oh, I went up and down, I went up and down. That's hormonal. You can go up and down, you can store water, you can do all that shit, but your body fat and your weight will progressively go down. People think this is weight loss. This on the graph. Weight loss is this. So I'm going down, but it's like fucking everywhere. But I'm still going down. That's weight loss on a scale. Do you know what I'm saying? Things can happen. Just keep going. As long as you keep going down, perfect weight loss. Job done.
Cool.
There you go, mate.
Are you ready for the muscle mailing?
Muscle mailing.
Which is actually along the same lines.
Love it.
Right, okay, so we've had one submission to the muscle mailing this week, which is, I'm larger than all of my friends and just want to be happy with how I look and be more confident. I go through spurts of weight loss diets and just want to look more confident, just want to look in the mirror and not hate my reflection. Have you got any tips on just being more confident?
Yeah, so this was the one we spoke about, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is a younger person writing this in. Now, regardless of what age, right, it's not very nice when it's a young person. Someone below the age of 16, let's just say that. Because obviously you're really self-conscious about yourself, and you shouldn't be really. You should be enjoying your life, man. That's like the most important time of your life, man. Just fucking enjoy yourself, you know? There's a lot of things you have to worry about when you get older. Work, all that, jobs, all that stuff, right? You should be enjoying your life, man. So if you're worried about your weight, it's a shame. But the same rule applies if you're not losing weight or you think, I mean, don't compare yourself to your peers because everybody's different, but if you're worried about not looking as thin as people around you and you want to lose weight, you just got to eat less food, man. Now, being of a certain age, a lot of that responsibility falls on parents. It does. We have children, and like we say, if any of our children started to get overweight, and maybe she hasn't told her parents or worries, so let's take that out of the equation for now. But let's just say visually, and I've seen it before, I've trained some overweight people and then their kids are overweight, but they like, I've seen the way they feed them and talk to them, and it's like, oh, she looks great, and I'm like, she don't, like, no, and this is not this person, this is just in general. I'm like, she is overweight. And, you know, I've seen people get bullied over that. And the parents that I'm training have brought it up, and I'm like, oh, no one should be bullied. It's fucking horrible. It's one of my hates, that is. That should be room 101.
Yeah,
should be
definitely. I think everyone would want to put it, apart from the bullies, everyone would want to put it in.
Well, if the bullies were getting bullied, they'd want it in 101, do you know what I mean? Bullshit. But, by the by, like, if it's a weight loss thing, like, lose the weight, man. Parents should be like, well, let's work on getting you to lose weight. If that's what you all want to do, and if someone like that, at that age, is worried about their weight, a lot of their food's going to be coming from parents. It should be looked at that way. I've said to you before, if you've got a dog, your dog starts getting weight, like putting weight on, take it to the vets. It's an overweight dog, that is, mate. Oh, okay. What are you going to do? You're going to feed it less food, and you're going to take it for walks more. Do you know what I mean? Those are the two things. I'm not saying you take your kid for a walk, but it would make it more. You make your kid more active and feed it less food. It's the same principle, you know. So it's a shame someone like that feels that way. It's not very nice, but ultimately, it's calories in, calories out again. You've just got to bring your food down and keep doing that, keep it consistent. And when you're the age of like 14, 15, you don't need that many calories as your maintenance. You know, if you look at our maintenance when we work it out, it isn't very high. And like, I don't know about you guys, but when I was 14, 15, I used to fucking eat everything. Do you know what I mean? I could probably eat more than I do now. Just fucking go for it. You know, my mum would come home and go, where's the loaf of bread gone? I'm like, well, you know what I mean? There was bread, there was butter, I smashed it, right? So I just took it all, but, you know, and luckily I didn't gain that much weight, but you've got to decrease your food intake. And there has to be some accountability on the parents there, man.
Yeah.
There's got to be.
And it needs to be sustainable as well, because this person's mentioned going through spurts of doing sort of fad diets and that sort of thing, which generally don't tend to work out in the long term, do they? Because you might, as we've talked about with that other person, you might lose a load of weight initially, but then if your calories are too low, it's going to be really, really hard to sustain, and you're going to lose motivation and be miserable and all those things we've talked about before. So in our episode where we talked about goal setting, you explained nicely to you about how to gradually bring your calories down so that you start losing weight in a more sustainable way. And we also gave some advice on how to kind of, you know, identify what the goals are and how to stick to them. So it might be worth going back and rewatching that episode, I'd say.
Yeah, 100%. And like, if you've wrote in and called something a fad diet, don't fucking do it. Do you know what I mean? If you've already recognised it.
Well, I think I used the word fad, but she'd said spurts of dieting.
Yeah.
So that suggests to me, you know, it's kind of all in and then
don't, man.
all out.
Like I was saying, just about the drinks thing, man. Just cut little things out. You know, those are your little goal steps, aren't they? So my first goal would be, what is I eat a lot of that I probably should cut down? I'll cut that out a little bit. Do you know what I mean? It might be fizzy drinks for that person. It might be like chocolates every day or whatever. You just do it every other day. But there's your first step. You know, see what you look like, and then move more, do more exercise. You know, do the gym, go do fitness. You know, do some exercise. You know, do some kind of sport. Do a level of activity. Do more of that. Stay active. You know. A lot of kids nowadays, it's not like when we were kids, when we used to go out all the time. And I had a computer and all that stuff, but like we used to all go out and we had no phones. Like if I wanted to go and find my friends, there's about 30 of us.
Physically go out and look for them.
Yeah, I had 5 spots, and they were all about 20 minutes distance between all of them. So sometimes I'd go, and 2 hours later, I ain't found them. So then I'll make a decision whether to go through those 5 again or go home. Either way, I got a good 2 hours walking that, you know.
Yeah.
And then I went home and gamed for a bit or whatever I did. But
yeah. So wherever you're going, can you walk a bit more?
Yeah.
Maybe don't get a lift.
Yeah, it's just stuff like that. And like, it's just little steps, and just keep. If it's really that like a thing to you that you really want to lose it, just trust me, just eat less food. You'll be fine. Job done. Same rules apply, no matter how old you are.
Hope that helps. If you've got a question for the muscle mailing, do send it in via DM to @ReviveItApp on Instagram or any of our other social platforms.
Yes, drop us a line, guys. We like it. We like the questions. They're banging.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it, I think.
Is that the end of the episode?
Yeah.
What time are we on, Ben?
50, just over 50 minutes.
Oh, bloody hell. It goes
Nice.
quick, doesn't it?
It does.
It goes mega quick. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode, guys. Like and subscribe, do all that stuff. And
Yeah, tell all your friends.
Tell all your friends about us. And yeah, keep watching. There we go. We'll see you next week.
Next week.
Bosh. There we go, man.
Cool.
Love it. Boom.
Bye.